The East Texas A&M game is going to go a long way into determining which of the freshman wide receivers could have a huge impact on SMU's season in 2025.
You are Locked On SMU, your daily podcast on the SMU Mustangs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition, a Thursday edition of Locked On SMU, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Thank you for making us part of your day. Thank you for spending half an hour with me. I'm Grayson Singleton. You can find me on Twitter at Gray_Singleton2. Love to interact with you there. Love to interact with all of you in the comments as well in this YouTube page as well. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we drop new content. Coming up on today's show today, I found an interesting think piece on the rise of Kevin Jennings and whether or not he's going to become a DFW icon. So you're going to want to hang around for that. Also, that nickel situation didn't really give us any clarity with the release of the depth chart the other day. So we're going to talk about that situation as we continue to lead up to the East Texas A&M season opener. We are 2 days away from college football in Dallas. All right, let's start with this. The freshman wide receivers have turned a lot of heads in training camp and in fall camp and over the course of the offseason. Now, here's what we know. We know that at minimum one of them is going to play a huge role in the offense. Now, does that role get tampered back a little bit because of RJ Maryland switching to wide receiver? That's a possibility, especially because now it doesn't look like Ymir Knight is a surefire start for SMU. But the three freshman wide receivers, Jalen Cooper, Carterius Brown, and Isaiah Robertson, each were on the depth chart when SMU released it on Tuesday. And here's how it shook out. At wide receiver, you had Jordan Hudson as the one, Jalen Cooper or Carterius Brown right behind him. At the other wide receiver, you see Romello Brinson at the number one, and then Isaiah Robertson listed as the first of the oars with Junior Link Rhodes. So those are the three that we're focusing on: Jalen Cooper, Carterius Brown, and Isaiah Robertson. Each of them highly, highly productive. You look at Jalen Cooper in his senior year, 60 balls caught for 1,271 yards and 19 touchdowns. That's 21.1 yards per catch. Carterius Brown, he broke out as a sophomore, caught 37 balls for 977 yards and 9 tutties. That's 26 yards per catch. And then Isaiah Robertson in his senior year caught 60 balls for 765 yards and 6 scores. Also ran the ball very well too. Rushed for 596 yards and 14 scores. And is a factor in the kick return. All three of them, by the way, have been factors in the kick return game in high school. But this game, I think, is going to go a long way in determining which one of them, maybe which two of them, are going to be asked to have a huge impact on the season. And you remember Carterius Brown from the catch that lit up social media a couple of weeks ago. But Jalen Cooper has also had a really good offseason, as has Isaiah Robertson. But the ones that I would be looking at right now are Cooper and Carterius Brown in particular, because those two seem like they are ready for college football. Now, that's no slight to Isaiah Robertson, who, by the way, is 6 foot, 204 pounds. So his body certainly is ready. But Cooper and Carterius Brown are the ones that the intel has pointed to. So as I continue to go down the train of thought of, okay, what do I want to see and what should I expect in the East Texas A&M game? Which one makes the most plays? Jalen Cooper, is he going to make more plays? Is Carterius Brown going to make more plays? But also, I do want to see this too. And this kind of ties back to the running back conversation we had on Monday. How are they deployed? And how are they used? Are they involved in the creativity parts of the offense, in the creative parts of the offense? Now, how creative are we going to see against East Texas A&M? That remains to be seen. Probably not a whole heck of a lot. But when they are asked to go get a go ball, which is Jalen Cooper's specialty, do they make those plays? Do they throw a lot of deep balls to those dudes? Because they can afford to unleash the freshmen and see what they can do, what kind of ball that they can play at the collegiate level without giving away too much. Because everybody knows the ones are going to be Hudson, Brinson, and Maryland, like it was revealed a couple of days ago. But when it comes to Cooper and Carterius Brown, those are still, products that need to be refined. Those are still dudes that have a lot of college football to be played before we look at them as bona fide stars. We don't assume that they're going to be the next iteration of Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. So that's another thing that I'm looking at as it pertains to East Texas A&M is, quite frankly, what do you look like playing college football? Can the buzz from fall camp carry over to a game? And it is a game. It is still a game. And hopefully you've picked up on this in the 4 shows that we've done this week leading up to the opener, is that the East Texas A&M game is still a game. It still goes away to determining whether you're 1-0 or 0-1. This isn't an exhibition. But it also goes a long way to determining who your horses are going to be come the season. Now, is that to say, depending on your translation of the word horses, does that mean that Jalen Cooper and Carterius Brown and Isaiah Robertson have a chance to be one of the dudes that are the go-to dudes? I'm not projecting that. But can they be situational guys? Can you rely on them to be situational dudes to kick your offense over the top? Because I'll tell you this, every single offense has an unexpected wrinkle. Think of the best offenses in college football right now. You're probably thinking about Ohio State from last year. Texas, I think, is going to be in that conversation this year. LSU, I think, is going to be in this conversation. Even Clemson, to a degree. They all have something that you got to go deep into your knowledge of the roster that they'll be able to pull out and surprise with. And that's what I think those guys are auditioning for. That's what I think Cooper, Brown, and Robertson are looking to show, that, hey, I can be that third, fourth gear that you put our offense into, and teams look back and they're like, oh, who the hell is that? Forgot about him. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I think is going to be their role so far. And by the way, they both can make excellent plays. All 3 of them can make excellent plays. All 3 with great hands. All 3 with college-ready bodies to contribute in some facet, in some form in their freshman season. I don't know who I would project as a redshirt here. I could see Cooper and Brown not having a redshirt. Now, the one guy that we've left out of this conversation, if you haven't caught on to this in the 8 minutes that we've been on this show so far, is Jalen Singleton, who is another freshman wide receiver. Not projecting based on this depth chart, and also based on the lack of buzz that has come out of camp, even though he's been solid. Based on those 2 things, Jalen Singleton probably a candidate to redshirt as a freshman. That's okay. We'll see you in 2026. No problem with that. No problem. That's the natural order of how things work. But you're looking at these 3 in particular: Jalen Cooper, Carterius Brown, Isaiah Robertson. Look to them maybe into the second quarter or into the second half to see who's going to make a big play, and keep an eye on that guy throughout the season to be a change of pace, 4th gear type of dude, because every offense has to have it. Look for one of those guys to be SMU's version of that as they continue to build this incredible offense in the 2025 year. Coming up next, I found this article on Kevin Jennings, and I will ask this question, and I'll leave you with this. Can Kevin Jennings be Dallas's quarterback? What's up, Locked On SMU fans? Are you still paying full price for your gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every single time you fill up at the pump with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play Store right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it is totally legit, and I have used this app before. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime straight to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with SupplyHouse. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has got your blind side covered. Need parts fast for a project? SupplyHouse has, like we said, next day delivery. Talk about a game changer. You don't got to change your life while waiting for something to complete a project. Join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and dedicated support lines. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHCollege5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. We have an important request from all of you. Locked On wants to hear from you. We've put together a survey to learn more about our listeners, that's you, and make your favorite podcasts even better. This is a chance to tell us what you like and what you don't, and answer questions about our advertising as well. Go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes a survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that's lockedonpodcast.com/survey. You can also find the link in the show notes. Hey, thanks for helping us out, and thanks for listening as well. Okay, welcome back. By the way, before we get any further, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those of you listening on the audio side, we appreciate you as well on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts. But go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we drop new content. So I found this Kevin Jennings think piece on D Magazine, and the title of it is pretty bold. The title reads like this: Kevin Jennings is Dallas's quarterback. And I started thinking, this season, yes, Kevin Jennings has the opportunity to lead SMU to an ACC championship. He has the opportunity to lead SMU to a national championship, back to the college football playoff. But personally, there is something at stake for him. And that is, without a shadow of a doubt, he has the chance to etch himself into Dallas legacy. He has the chance to become an icon in Dallas sports history. Now, here's the thing you know about Dallas. If you perform in Dallas, Dallas is going to embrace you. Even if you are a part of bad moments in Dallas, sometimes you can get overlooked for your accomplishments, a la Tony Romo. Because what do we mostly remember Tony Romo for? Ill-timed interceptions and the botched hold against the Seahawks in the playoffs. But this comes down to me to two things. It comes down to how you perform in your career and choice. Because here's what we know about Dallas. Dallas loves itself some Dallas. Dallas loves a lot of itself, and Dallas loves its stars as well, whether it's the high school level, college level, or pro level. And Kevin Jennings fits that. He fits performing at the high school level, led South Oak Cliff High School to a state championship. And if you don't think how you perform in high school gets you places in Dallas, look no further than Kyler Murray and how much we still revere Kyler Murray on the high school football scene, and rightfully so. But the biggest part here to me is choice. And Kevin Jennings, after he first made that cameo in the bowl game after the 2023 season, there were schools that came calling for Kevin Jennings. We remember this, with some pretty big offers. But Kevin Jennings said this, and this is quoting directly from the article. Quote, Lashley gave me my first big-time offer. He trusted me as soon as he got to campus. I have to be able to trust him and give it back to him. He chose here. He may not have chose to be born here, but he elevated his high school squad. He made a great showing for SMU. And then he had to choose to stay here. And if there's one thing I know about Dallas is that if you choose to stay here and you don't leave until it is without a shadow of the doubt outside of your own control, Dallas is going to embrace you. And I think you have to go to basketball to find the best example of this. Obviously, we know Dirk Nowitzki stayed for 20 years, but I think an even better example of this is Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic led Dallas to the NBA Finals for the first time since they won the title back in 2011. And then he was shipped out. But we all know Luka wanted nothing with leaving Dallas. Community leader, had his foundation here, was putting down roots, was going to build basically the rest of his life in Dallas, and also performed at an MVP level for the Mavericks. Went to war for the Mavericks. And then he was shipped out. But what happened when the Lakers came to Dallas and Luka made his return? We all remember the scene. We remember his face. We all know what happened. Dallas loves those that make it apparent that they're choosing Dallas. And Kevin Jennings chose Dallas because he had offers to leave. Some pretty big money offers to leave. But not only did he, and this is where the come up I think is so interesting with Kevin Jennings, is that not only did he choose to stay, he had to choose to stay and battle for the number one job because he still wasn't the unquestioned starter at that point in time. He still had to go take it from Preston Stone. And then he did take it from Preston Stone because he made it abundantly clear to Rhett Lashley, our ceiling is higher with this dude at quarterback in the 2024 season. And now he comes into 2025 as the dude. So what if he performs outstanding? He could perform outstanding and then still come back again. In my mind, I don't think this is the end of Kevin Jennings' career. And I'm going to look at this right fast just to make sure, just to make sure, because how many years of eligibility does Kevin Jennings have left? Kevin Jennings, after this year, he may be out of eligibility after this year. But the point still stands. If he goes out and performs at an outstanding level, there's more at stake for him than just Doak Walker Award, Manning Award, Heisman Trophy. He will be cemented in Dallas lore because he performed at an otherworldly level. Dallas respects that, but also because he chose the city. And if you choose something, especially if you choose to stay where you're from, he would have now, get this, he would have now performed at a championship level at multiple levels, high school and college. Now, does he ever get the opportunity to complete the trifecta and do it in the pros? Time will tell. Time will tell. Timelines, that whole sort of thing. But for this season, and this season alone, we've talked on and on and on and on and on about what statistically would make a great season, what's at stake for him in his professional future, what the team needs him to do in terms of elevating the squad to be a championship contending team, and they're going to need him to do that. He's going to have to be the conductor, not a passenger, this year. But what else is at stake for him is becoming Dallas's dude. And it's so fitting, I think, that he's going to try to become Dallas's dude at the same time SMU is angling to become Dallas's team. Because there's been a void here that Dallas, we've gone through this before. There's not many major markets in the country that don't have Power 4 football. Miami's got it. LA's got it. UNLV, I mean, Mountain West, but still a prominent college football team, to say the least. I mean, the only ones you can really think of are New York and San Francisco in terms of major cities that don't have college football, and New York's a basketball thing, so it doesn't really matter there. But Dallas has had this void. It's starting to be filled by the team. The team also is trying to angle to keep all of the blue chip Dallas prospects right there in Dallas. What better way to go about campaigning that you're serious about it than if your quarterback, the quarterback, becomes Dallas's dude? So I think there's a lot at stake publicity-wise, but I think there's a lot of stake legacy-wise in this SMU season. And I think it starts with Kevin Jennings about to be SMU's quarterback. Coming up next, the nickel situation still doesn't seem to be ironed out on the depth chart. And that's okay because there are two really good players that are angling for that spot. We'll talk about it next to close up shop here on Locked On SMU on a Thursday. College football is back, and you guys can already tell I could not be more excited. The tailgates, rivalries, and the energy in the stands. There's just nothing really like it. But let's be real. Actually getting tickets can feel more like a battle than the game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, prices jumping at checkout. You know, we've all bought tickets before, that sort of thing. But that's why I use Gametime, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the easiest way to score last-minute tickets at the best prices, and with no surprise fees either. What you see is what you pay. I pulled up Gametime in just a couple of taps. I saw amazing deals. I'm talking about your favorite college football games as low as $25. So take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply, but again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. Okay, let's talk about a position that I hold in higher importance than most in today's version of modern football, and that is the position of the nickel corner. Nickel corner, nickel safety, whatever you want to call it. The nickel can elevate your defense to incredible heights because it's a dude that should be able to play downhill against the run, but also have the versatility to play in the slot, play on the outside at times, play corner, play safety. Those are really special dudes. And if you look at defensive coordinators who coordinate really good defenses and the great ones too, you will see that they have that chess piece that will usually play that modern nickel kind of spot. So when I was at college at Oklahoma State always had a bevy of guys that they kind of really flipped through, especially those years in 2020 and 2021 when they were really good under Jim Knowles before he took the Ohio State job. Jim Knowles, one of the elite defensive coordinators in the country. Well, we've got a battle on our hands because on the depth chart that was released on Tuesday, you see an or here, Lamadrick Spencer or Jaden Milner-Jones. So that battle has still not shaken itself out yet. And that's okay. Jaden Milner-Jones, by the way, formerly at Colorado, big-time pickup. He's a dude who has experience playing safety and playing corner as well. And he also did some pretty good things at Colorado as well. 24 tackles, I believe is what it was, and three passes defense. So he got some burn at Colorado and just didn't end up working out. Ends up at SMU. By the way, a DeSoto native is Jaden Milner-Jones. So I love his versatility, which is why he fits in with nickel. He can also come up and play the run. Not scared of contact. He's got a good body to do so as well. 5'11", 190 is around where he sits. But he also is going to have to go toe-to-toe with Lamadrick Spencer. And Lamadrick Spencer, I hold guys, especially DBs. I'll explain why that position in a minute. I hold dudes that have played 2 years of JUCO ball to a high regard. Because if you know anything about JUCO ball, you're in the trenches. That's the best way I can put it. JUCO ball is the trenches. You're not playing in front of a whole lot of people. You're not working out in the best facilities. The places that you're living probably aren't in the greatest, most enviable of areas, right? And they are also outside NCAA jurisdiction too, which means they can practice and work you however much they please. So JUCO is the real stuff. But I also think JUCO players become hardened individuals and individuals with chips on their shoulders. And that's where we get to why I say this works well for a defensive back. Because DBs with chips on their shoulders can be menaces to society. I mean, a DB with his hair on fire, especially in the nickel, where you're talking about coming up in run support, but also having to stick with guys in the slot, which means you've got to cover inside, outside, deep corner, deep post, whatever. You got a lot of responsibilities as a nickel corner. And I think Lamadrick Spencer would fit. Now, again, is this any shot at Jaden Milner-Jones? Nope, because Jaden Milner-Jones has also played power forward football. Keep that one in mind, too. And Lamadrick Spencer, by the way, if you're saying, well, he wasn't good enough to come to SMU right out of high school, not true. There was a situation there. He needed to go to JUCO and then end up coming back. But I don't know. This seems like one you can't go wrong with. If for my money, I lean toward Lamadrick Spencer. I am open to be proven wrong by the dude who has played Big 12 football. But I really like Lamadrick Spencer's tape. I think he's physical. I think he is scared of nothing when it comes up to stopping the run. He'll take on anybody. And I think he has good technical skills too and really good hands. And you can say the same about Jaden Milner-Jones too. But I like Lamadrick Spencer. I really do. And by the way, to the credit of Jaden Milner-Jones, talk about having a chip on your shoulder too, because he was at Colorado and got outshined by a couple of people, namely Oklahoma State corner DJ McKinney, who has started to fly up the radar of NFL scouts. But he's going to have a chip on his shoulder too, looking to prove that, hey, I can play in the Power 4 too and be on a championship level defense. So I've got two guys who are going to play with chips on their shoulder. One guy who's on a redemption tour because he couldn't get to SMU straight out of high school, and another dude who's looking to prove Deion Sanders wrong. I don't think you can go wrong here. But another thing that you're looking at in the East Texas A&M game, that right there. Who gets the lion's share of the snaps at nickel? Is it going to be Spencer or is it going to be Milner-Jones? It's going to be another tidbit to look at. We are 2 days away from the kickoff of SMU's football season. That'll do it for Locked On SMU on this Thursday. Remember to, after you make us your first listen, remember to check out Locked On's The Portal with Brian Smith, who he's got all the information to keep you the most informed fan on anything going on in the world of college football. I'm Grayson Singleton. We'll talk to you tomorrow to round out opening game week. Take it easy, everybody.